Our query is built, the form is designed, now it's time to build out our navigation. Instead of creating a brand new form, let's place the controls for this profit summary report directly on the main menu form. I'll go ahead and find it in my navigation pane and just double click on it to open it. Now I want to put a couple of controls over here on the right-hand side. I want a drop-down list so the user can choose what year they're interested in, and another drop-down list so they can choose which product category. Finally, they will have a button that'll run the report. So let's go ahead and add those features in. I'll right-click up here on the title bar and choose Design View. Let's go up here to the Design tab on the Controls group, and I'll grab my first combo box. I'll click on it, and we'll click down here to add it. Now the combo box wizard starts up, but I'm actually going to cancel out of this. We'll build the query that'll run this list manually. It'll be a little bit cleaner that way. So that leaves us with an unbound combo box. It's not connected to anything. In the property sheet on the Data tab, we'll find the row source property. I'll click here, and then click Build. That'll open up a new query editing session for this combo box. From the Show Table window, I want to add in the Orders table. That'll give me access to the order dates. Let's go ahead and say Close. Now if I add the order date field into this query, the combo box is going to give me a list of every single order date that's in my entire database. I only want to select the years that are present. So in this first field, I'm going to right-click and choose Zoom. That'll bring up the Zoom window. Let me change the font really quick so it's a little bit bigger. And I'll click in this box, and we can just start typing in our formula. The name of the column is going to be year. So I'll type in an alias here, year, with a colon. And then the function name is year. Open a parenthesis, and we want to apply that to the order date data. So inside of square brackets, I'll type in order date, closing bracket, and a closing parenthesis. Let's go ahead and say OK, and that formula gets put down here in the field. Now if I run it, you're going to see that I have every year represented multiple times. In fact, I get one row for every order in the whole table. I actually only want to see each year one time. So let's go back into Design View. And if I click anywhere here in the background of this query and have the property sheet open, and if it's not open, you can use this button up here on the ribbon. Now what I want to do is find this unique values property here. And I'm going to change that from no to yes. That'll collapse all the year names that are the same together into a single row. I also want to change the sorting. I want to come down here to the sort row and change this to descending so that it goes from newest to oldest. Let's go ahead and run this one more time. And we can see our completed list. So this is what's going to appear inside of the combo box. Let's go ahead and close this query, and we'll save our changes. Let's go ahead and add one more combo box for our product categories. I'll go to the Design tab, grab a combo box, and click. Once again, we'll cancel out of the wizard and build it manually. So on the Data tab, the row source, I'll click the Build button. This time I'm going to grab our products table. I'll double click on it, and then close the Show Table window. Here, I just want to see the category, so I'll double click on that to add it down here. Once again, I'll click somewhere in the background here. We'll change this unique values from no to yes. And I'll change my sorting down over here to ascending. That'll be alphabetized. Let's go ahead and run this query. And here's the list for our category combo box. Let's go ahead and close this query, and we'll save our changes. Next, let's move these labels into position. I'll click on this first one, and using the handle in the upper left-hand corner, I'll click and drag it over to here. Let's go ahead and change the text. I'll double click on it, and we'll type in select a year. This one down here, I'll move into position. Again, using the handle in the upper left-hand corner. And we'll double click on it and call it select a product category. Finally, let's make all of these the same width. I'll select all of them here, go to Arrange, Size and Space, and to Widest. All right, let's go ahead and check out the functionality. We'll go to the Home tab and switch our view here. And now we should be able to check a year. I can choose a year from the list here and a product category from this list here. Now I'd like to point out that the nice thing about generating these combo box lists from queries is that they're being dynamically generated based off of the data present in our data tables. So as we start collecting orders in 2015 and beyond, new years will automatically show up on the list. Likewise, if we add a new product category to our product offerings, then it would automatically show up on this combo box as well. Let me show you how that works. I want to close out the main menu, and we'll save our changes. And then I'll come up here into my products table. I'm going to press this button down here in the bottom to add a new blank record at the end. And let's just add in a new product called LED flashlight. I'm going to call it KLED as the product ID. The category is going to be LED flashlight. And the name is going to be LED flashlight as well. Great. Let's go ahead and close our products table. We'll go back to the main menu. And now if I go to select a product category, you can see the LED flashlight now shows up on the list as well. So without having to do anything, our main menu is being kept up to date by using those queries. So we need to add one more thing to our main menu here, and that's a button that'll run our report. Let's go ahead and right-click on the title bar and go back to Design View. We'll add in a button control. It's this one here. I'll click on it and click down here. We're going to go to Report Operations here, and I want to open a report in Print Preview mode. So I'll choose Preview Report. Let's go ahead and say Next. The report I want is this profit summary. I'll go ahead and select it and say Next. I'll go ahead and select this text option. And instead of Preview Report, I'll type in View Profit Summary. Let's go ahead and say Next and Finish. I'll go ahead and style my button. I'll go to the Format tab. I'll change this Use Theme to No. That'll make it gray like all my other buttons. And finally, we need to change the event on this button so that it closes the main menu when it switches over to the report. So with the button still selected, I'll go to the Event tab. We'll go to the OnClick event and edit this macro here. I'm going to go ahead and add in that action step that we've done previously. It's a close window. But this time, instead of moving it to the top of the list, I'm actually going to specify which window we're going to close. So I'm going to go here to Object Type and change this to a form. And the object name is Main Menu. Now, the reason I'm not going to change it by moving it up to the top of the list, the reason that I'm not going to reorder this is because we actually need this window to be open when the report opens. If we close the main menu first, then the report won't know what year and product category that we've selected. So that's why I want to open the report first, and then once it's open, then we can close the main menu screen. Let's go ahead and close this and save it. And we'll check it out. I'll switch my view into Form View. We can go ahead and select dates, but these aren't connected yet, so you can go ahead and leave them blank. And we'll press View Profit Summary. It's going to ask me to save the changes, so I'll say yes, and that moves me into my Profit Summary report. Now I need to have a way of moving from the report back to the main menu. So I'm going to change this view of the report back to Design View. We can't actually have a button on the report that'll show up in Print Preview, but what we can do is go to the Event tab of the property sheet for the whole report, and make sure it says Report up here, and go to this OnClose property down here. We'll click Build to create a new macro in Macro Builder. We'll say OK, and the only step we need is Open Form. We'll go ahead and name the form here as the main menu, and we'll go ahead and close and save our changes. Let's go ahead and test everything out. I'll close this Profit Summary report. We'll save our changes. I'll open up my main menu, and eventually we'll be able to select these and make the effects on the report. But again, that's not connected yet. But for now, just press View Profit Summary. That takes us over here to the Profit Summary report, where we can take a look, we can print it, and so on. When we're done, close Print Preview, and that takes us back to the main menu. So at this point, our report has been looped into the menu navigation system, and we can return when we're done reviewing or printing the report. The final step is to connect those two combo boxes on the main menu to the underlying query that's driving the report.